Governance is shaped by a series of everyday policy decisions by public officials. Good governance means making policy decisions in a country's best interest. The goal is to reduce policy error, whether deliberate, as in case of corruption, or perhaps stemming from a lack of capacity. So how do we reduce policy errors? We can use two broad approaches. The first is to either reduce discretion by public officials when policy decisions are made, or determine whether some policy decisions are needed at all. If there is no clear case for government's intervention, we could streamline or do away with some policy decisions altogether. After all, if there is no decision to make, then there is no possibility for error. This streamlining is essentially about structural reform. If there is case for government intervention, can some policy decisions be outsourced or automated? For example, an automated speed enforcement system may perform better than traffic police if the latter is known to be corrupt. Alternatively, policy decisions could be subject to a set of rules and procedures, which guide public officials and limit the possibility for error. All key state functions and institutions are guided by rules and procedures, starting with the constitution, the key law in a country. For most policy decisions, discretion by public officials cannot be fully avoided. In fact, discretion is crucial when the decisions require judgment and agile government reaction to unexpected circumstances. Therefore, it is important to make sure that these decisions are made in the country's best interest. This is the second approach to reduce policy errors and improve governance. Reduce the likelihood of poor governance when the discretionary policy decision is being made. The key here is to set the right incentives for public officials. First, we need to encourage and facilitate good governance, for instance through competitive salaries, career prospects, or capacity building, which facilitates making the right decisions. Second, we need to discourage poor governance, in particular corruption. The key is to punish corruption and constrain the coordination between the demand side, bribe takers, and the supply side, bribe givers. One can also employ behavioral nudges, emphasis on reputational risks, and elimination of culture of corruption in society. It is also important to make it difficult to use the proceeds of corruption, which effectively reduces its benefit. The primary instrument for this is anti-money laundering enforcement. Third, for all incentives to work efficiently, it is crucial to have quality monitoring and informing the policymaking process, which depends on two key inputs. The first input is transparency, opening data about government operations and strengthening accountability. Transparency sheds light on government operations and enables their external scrutiny. It also enables governments to make informed, evidence-based and thus better policy decisions. The second key input is engaging official monitoring institutions, for example, anti-corruption bureaus or supreme audit institutions, and importantly, engaging civil society. This engagement is useful not just for monitoring corruption, but also for an informed and inclusive decision-making process.